of all time, Metallica. He then decided to do his own band, do his own thing, do his own drugs, and to make a name for himself as a bit of a prima donna. He came to talk to me about doctors, lice from LA, and ripped denim. So, after all these years, it's really nice to see you back in Europe.
Thank you.
Is it still exciting to go on the road for you?
Well, it depends. It depends if you're going on the road to play or to do promotion. It depends on what territory you're going in and basically what your frame of mind is. You know, if you're not grateful to be doing this, you know, that's going to suck. You know, I got a lot of friends that play music and they don't like doing it. You know, and to me, I figure, you know, if you don't like doing it, then don't.
That's true.
You know,
but it's a part of the job in a way.
It's like if you're a doctor, you got to operate.
And Cryptic Writings is your 8th album, and you've been quoted as saying that this is the least painful album. Is that true?
Making it, yeah, it was.
And why is it the least painful?
Well, the band, we were just getting along really well at the time, and as soon as we went to the studio, I mean, it's in Nashville, so all these lice from LA aren't dropping in the studio every day. Oh, I was just passing by. Keep going, you know. And it's like, yeah, in Nashville, they had to make a serious effort to come out and see us, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but not very many people came out there. I mean, I think it was great because we weren't bothered. So
you told me about the guys dropping by, but what else was there going on that it was the least painful? Like, was working together with a band different, or?
Well, usually when you make a record and you're in your hometown, you've got other things going on. You know, I was so far removed from where I live in Arizona. When we lived in Los Angeles, friends would come by, people would come by, you know, people from the record company, the agencies would come by, and all kinds of people would come by, and basically they just bother you. They'd come by to show their support, but if you're doing something that's really important and they interrupt, they're bothering you. You know? I mean, you want to say, look, we really appreciate you and your job is so important, but at this stage, what you do is not necessary yet. It's like like going back to the doctor thing, the girl that sews up the body after it's done, you don't want her standing there hovering over you when you're operating on the heart, you know, and we were making the record, people come by and interrupt, it's just terrible. This guy, Eddie Kramer, who produced Kiss and Jimi Hendrix and stuff, we had to put a sign on the door, do not enter, this means you, Eddie Kramer, because he kept walking in on us. You know, I mean, he was drinking too much and I think his brain's a little dead. But, you know, I mean, after a while, you know, you go to a place like Nashville, no one even knew we were there, because they're all country people.
So you kind of could just, all of you guys could just really focus in on the record.
Yeah, it was good for us because when the drums were gone, the drummer was gone. He went back to Los Angeles. He still likes living in LA because of, you know, the dancers and beer and stuff like that. And we all live in Arizona, and when the bass was done, the bass player went home. And Marty Freeman was out there with me in Nashville until his part was done. And when his part was done, he went home too. And I didn't see him anymore. I was completely removed from everything. Just myself out there. Me, the producer, the engineer.
Trust. More from Dave later on. Letters, I like them. I like to hear from you. I like your thoughts. I like the idea. And I don't even like the word like. So as I'm making an effort, perhaps you can too. Write to me at Julia Valet, Suite 69, P.O. Box 1384, MTV Europe, London, NW1, 8UH, England. Stick around for a trip to the garden with Guns N' Roses and a viewing of Courtney's doll parts. No, really.
What's going to be remembered?
He thought. I also read a lot that you had a fight or problems with drugs and drinking and stuff like this, and you spent some time in rehab. And
a lot of time.
Yeah. Was it an influence or more of a, how do you say, hindrance?
Hindrance, yeah. In the beginning, you know, it was good. You know, it started off like I was drinking and having fun, and then I started using it, and then it started using me. And then it lost all its fun, you know, and I mean, you'd think that you would learn, but I didn't. It took me a long time to figure out that I was losing. And I thought, you know, well, it's just this girl, you know, well, it's just this band. Well, you know, I shouldn't be drinking beer, I should be drinking cognac. And
that's
you know, justifying, I did all these different things, and I don't want this to get into like heavy drug or alcoholism talk, but for me, I don't have a problem with other people doing it. I mean, I got a problem with it. If I start, I can't stop, and I'm stopped right now. So,
that's good.
you know, I mean, I feel better, I actually sound better. You know, and I remember the words to the songs, and I usually show up where I'm supposed to be.
And when did you realize that it was a problem? When did you say it?
In 1988, was the first time I went into a treatment center, and you know, times there would be times where I would you know, be sober for over a year, and then you just, every once in a while things get really bad and you forget. And now I know that when things get really bad, I know what to do so that I don't forget. And it's been almost 2 years now, so.
Great.
I mean, I like it. I don't know if anybody else likes it. I mean, I know a lot of people that say that, you know, they can't play unless they're high. Problem is they can't play unless they're high, you know. And
they probably never tried, you know.
Yeah.
It does take some time to feel comfortable
And,
about it.
yeah, well, I mean, I know a lot of people that say that, and if you can't play unless you're high, you know, chances are you can't play, period. And it just sounds good to you because you're high. I used to think that, you know, I wasn't going to be, I didn't know that I was going to live to be as old as I am right now. Because, you know, I thought, you know, live hard, die young, whatever.
But that's what you usually think when you're younger, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't think I'd make it to 21. I thought I would die before I could buy liquor legally, you know. And
so was it your attitude towards life as well back then?
what was my attitude back then?
No, was it your attitude? Or you just said, fuck it, I'm going to die anyways?
I think probably the attitude was just that, you know, I'm going to take everything I can while I can, because I'm not going to live long, and you know, I'm going to be as big as I can and let my legend live on. You know, the only problem is that, you know, that kind of behavior really helped perpetuate this bad boy reputation I have. And I'm not really like that, you know. At that time I was, you know.
No, you don't seem like that now.
Well, I mean, if I was liquored up right now, I would be. But anyways.
All your album titles are kind of morbid, kind of dark. Like Killing is My Business and Business is Good and Countdown to Extinction and stuff like that. What's the deal with all this death stuff?
Well, I used to say that without death, life would be meaningless. And I mean, there's a certain thrill about knowing that you could get hurt with some of the sports that I do. Skydiving, kickboxing, snowboarding, all that stuff, yeah. And, well, I don't skydive anymore. I stopped after a while. I jumped almost 20 times by myself, and you know, after a while, I mean, there's only so much you can do jumping out of an airplane. You spin this way, you spin that way, you turn this way, you turn that way, you go straight down this way, you go straight down that way, and after you've done it all, there's nothing. I mean, I don't want to jump out with 500 guys and hold on to each other's arms and legs. To me, that just seems kind of weird. It's like a big piece of human lace falling through the air, and it just doesn't thrill me.
Did you kind of like your drug abuse and stuff, did you kind of substitute it with the kind of natural highs of like jumping out of an airplane?
I don't know.
No?
That's a good question. I don't know. The point about the titles, though, I've always thought that a title should be timely and timeless. And in fact, the one slogan, "Peace sells, but who's buying," was a quote that I think Patti Smith had said in Reader's Digest a long time ago. "Peace sells, but no one wants to buy it." And I figured, well, it doesn't roll off the tongue very well, so I'll reword it so that it sounds better.
You were kind of a founder of Metallica. So how do you get along with those guys now?
I get along with them. I mean, we don't, you know, we don't sleep together or anything like that, and we don't really see each other much either. I know that if we saw each other walking down the street, that we would say hello and how's it going and all that stuff.
Tell about.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's them. But you know, we get along. I mean, there's no. See, there's this. idea that people think that we have a feud going, we put that behind us about 10 years ago. And people that come into the picture think that it's still going on, and they keep it going. You know? It's like, you know, you asking the question, you didn't know, so it's like, I mean, all you've probably heard was rumors, and you know, I get along with them okay.